welcome to another episode of Husbands Watching Housewives. I'm Scott.
And I am Jeff.
And we just watched the not reunion for the Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Special.
The Off the Rails special.
Yes, I love how it said Off the Rails as the subtitle.
Yeah, it took you a little while to notice it. Honestly, me too.
So clever.
Yeah. So what do we think?
Better than I thought it would be. I thought, when I was thinking about this earlier, I was like, oh, this is kind of stupid, like to watch them watch the show.
Mm-hmm.
But then as it went on, I was like, oh, I enjoy like seeing, the reactions and everything. So it was better than I thought it would be. I mean, obviously a reunion would be better, but I think for what it was interesting.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like we probably heard more of actual opinions in this than we would have otherwise. So the reunion would have just been them shouting on top of each other, and we actually got to hear what the ladies thought about what was going on.
Right.
So
yeah, even if you didn't agree with them, you could at least hear them.
Oh no, I agreed with all of them. Who are you? What?
You're so dolo.
I know, right? I'm just on that fence and playing both sides of it, and
someday someone's gonna be like, stick that fence up your.
That's just crazy,
Karen.
Oh my God. But yeah, I mean, as if it's not been clear already as to which room we would have rather been in that situation. I mean, with just jumping to the punchline on this, I really feel like the downstairs room with Teresa and not Melissa. Why do I keep doing that? Yeah. And Jen Aydin, they're a little delusional. Like I know that
very much so.
I got the impression, and I don't mean this as any. I mean, Jennifer Aydin delusional, I think, for sure. But Teresa, I just feel like she has something she needs to believe in order to be happy. Yeah. And it just suits her better to believe that.
That's why when during the actual finale, when it came out about Jackie, she didn't flinch. As she keeps saying, I didn't flinch.
Yeah.
Because you couldn't go against what she believed. She had her thought points, her bullet points, and so she wasn't gonna, deviate from that. So it was like, okay, that wasn't what I expected, but I got to keep going because Margaret is the enemy. I can't let Margaret know that she's right, even though she was right in this instance.
Right. And so, yeah, it just, but it was good. I had fun watching it.
Yeah.
I wish that I had, I don't know, I think sometimes with reunions, you can find yourself coming away with it with a different opinion, because I think having Andy there to moderate it sometimes is helpful. And whereas this, I think I'm leaving with the same opinion I had going in.
Yes, same.
I mean, again, I don't want to jump around necessarily, but I just want to get the things that I'm remembering off my head before I like forget them. I would love to have heard Jackie's inner monologue during this rewatch, because sitting down there in that room, hearing Melissa and Teresa, Jennifer and Teresa being so self-righteous about what they did. And I think that's the difference with the upstairs room. They weren't being self-righteous. Margaret a little bit, but I think they were just being reasonable. And, Teresa kept doing the whole, I feel vindicated, and the truth came out. And it's like, no, the truth still hasn't come out. It still makes no sense.
Well, that's again, one of her talking points was the season you're going to see that I'm vindicated. So like she would not let go of that thought.
Right.
Even if it was the incorrect thought, like, how are you vindicated?
But hearing Jackie, like, I still cannot believe in my heart of hearts that Jackie is truly friends with them. Like, I think it's still strategic for the show. She wanted, to be on the good side so that people would start liking her. Also, it was kind of weird at the end where she's like, is there a road back for you and Margaret? Like, it seemed like she was still kind of trying to be Margaret's friend too. But anyway, it just seemed, I don't know, I feel like she had a lot going on in her head of like, the look on her face was almost like, are they for real? Do they believe these things that they're saying? Like, even Jackie, I could tell, was thinking that.
Because basically with Teresa, it's like Teresa says one thing and Jen's like, yeah, for sure. And she's like, that's the path we're going on. And Dolo's like, can go either way. And we'll talk about how she went against them. Mm-hmm. But Jackie, you got to wonder, she's a reasonable person. She's an intelligent person. Like, there has to be like, yeah, but guys, no, you're wrong here. But she wouldn't say it.
Well, you could tell that she started to say something about what Louis said.
Yeah.
And then,
because she's like, pause it.
Right.
Yeah.
Dolores beat her to the punch.
Yeah. Like, she couldn't believe he said it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And then there we go.
Yeah.
But anyway, how did their outfits? Should we talk about those?
Yes. I thought everyone looked good.
Yeah, everyone looked, I mean, of course they looked good. Yeah. They wouldn't have come otherwise.
I mean, I think if there's a weak link, it would probably be Jen Aydin.
Well, it's her standard ponytail and
Well, the florals, she's not usually...
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't think about that.
It seemed to really go with her usual thing. Teresa was a bit of an Elvis motif with the pants and the jacket. And, I liked Margaret's outfit. She was saying Hungarian Contessa on Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know if I got that out of it.
Actually, no, if there was a wink, I love you, Danielle. But
oh, yeah, the weird American Gladiator cheerleader warrior outfit.
It was so close to like what she wore to the finale.
Mm-hmm.
I just needed a different look. Like from here up, amazing. But the dress, I was like,
well, she was.
It was velour too.
I mean, it strikes me as something she had probably had in the closet from her pageant days or something. It looked very pageanty.
Yes,
and figure skatery and all the things you don't want them to look.
Edgy.
Yeah, it wasn't the best.
Yeah,
and I have to say, at first we definitely noticed Rachel Fuda's whole outfit. I think she's too matchy.
It was so much,
and the makeup, her makeup was too heavy. All of this just too heavy and too harsh.
Scraves meets a drag queen. It was just.
Yeah.
It was too heavy, and she's so pretty, but it's so much hair and so much makeup. It overpowers her because she's such a tiny woman.
Yeah. But having noticed Rachel's makeup, I also noticed Melissa had a full beat on too.
Oh, that was a full-on beat.
And like, I don't mind like some well done glam, but when it definitely, you can tell the contouring is at play where they're using the drag queen techniques to like accentuate a thing. And it's like, well, now you're just doing this for the camera. Like if the camera wasn't here, would you actually look good?
No, you make up for high def.
Yeah,
for sure.
Which Dorit learned that one year.
Yeah,
but at least the first time we watched it in high def.
Yeah.
But don't stop below the neck. You need to, if you got some cleavage showing, you got to make that up too. That's just from us to you.
Yeah, Teresa's boob, they looked good because she had some good.
Yeah. They did a weird angle on Teresa towards the end that you don't normally see. It was when Jackie was talking to her. They kind of cut around and like showed Teresa like kind of from a point of view perspective, and I have to say she looked good.
She looked really good.
But she also looked, I don't know, a little mommy dearest.
Oh, a little Joan Crawford.
Yeah. Just, I don't know, not the best. It's a different look than we're used to seeing. I think we're always used to the confessional angles or like the far aways. It just that kind of handheld right in her face was just a whole different shot. I'll show you later.
It was a little softer compared to like her confessionals this season.
Mm-hmm. And
certainly her last look with the fake Chanel.
Let's just call it right now.
Yeah. Chanel wouldn't make that. But it was, I liked it with a softer look. I liked the softer look. I liked the hair. I was digging that. And then I liked Dolores's, I actually liked the backless part of it.
No, see,
the front. It was a suit. It was a little prairie.
It was a little prairie.
Napkin-y.
But the little prairie dress napkin. I thought the back, I don't know, I just feel for like a 2 p.m. lunch, it was a little too dramatic.
Also, can we have alcohol? No, it's 1:30.
Yeah, no, and we're also Bravo. We can't endorse that.
Yeah. Well, they don't have alcohol during the reunions. I mean, the men get like.
Oh, really? They don't?
No.
Oh, see, that seems.
They went to the end with like the toast with Andy.
Oh, see, I don't know if I believe that at reunions. I mean, the whole entire series is predicated on them having drinks and getting a little loose. You don't think they would?
I think there's enough energy coming at everybody without alcohol. Like that would be a really bad mix to throw that in there.
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, that PA was like, no. No, lady.
I noticed some more when they replayed the fight from the finale. I noticed more about the producer and LV and everything.
Oh, yeah.
I like
can't lunge across the table.
Yeah. And I for the stupidest thing I noticed is that she had her walkie-talkie on her waistband and it had a piece of LV on it. It was like, no one screw with my mic. My walkie-talkie is mine. But
this is the LV walkie.
Yeah.
And not Lisa Vanderpump.
No, that'd be the LVP walkie-talkie.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
True.
But anyway, where the hell did I get to that? Oh, the fight and everything. Yeah.
But it started off, everyone like walking in, like going to the PA being like, this is your room.
Right.
Let me walk you to your room.
No slow motion. No slow motion. Take notes, other franchises.
Yeah, didn't need slow motion. Fessler was late. Danielle was pissed, but I want to watch the show.
I'd say Danielle overall was just a breath of fresh air entirely for me. Like just that whole, like her reactions are natural. And I think exactly the way as a viewer, you're like, that's what I would say.
Yeah, she is a viewer. When she was like, it was better than I remember.
Yeah, that was good. But anyway, sorry, I keep bouncing us around. So they walk in, and what the whole first thing that they started watching? Oh,
The Margaret.
no, it was the sit down with Margaret. But didn't they get pissy? Oh, because Danielle went straight at Jen Fessler before they even started watching it.
And I like the Fessler was like, you know what? I was wrong. I shouldn't have defended Jen Aydin.
Right.
And
having watched it back, I see now that,
she started the fight. It's like, yes.
Yeah.
She pushed her. So.
And I mean, I guess on the subject of the fight and the pushing, I later on, my Jen Aydin, they were talking about taking accountability, like, oh, they don't take accountability for their actions, blah, blah, blah. It's like, she's still not acknowledging the fact that when people throw charities, they don't pay for everything out of their own pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you think that there's nonprofits throwing charity events who, like, the head of the nonprofits funding it out of their own pocket?
No.
There's a budget for the event.
Yeah.
And there's money that goes in and out of it. And that's the one thing I'm just
because there's a committee that puts together.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it wasn't. I don't know if her event had a committee.
Right. We can't speak about her event.
It's out to all the people involved, but like it wasn't as if everything. I doubt even for a Jennifer Aydin event, everything is coming straight out of her pocket.
And that's the way she makes it seem, which is just
donations. It's like, people like donating out their time and also merchandise, and
things for the auctions. And exactly.
So it's just not. Just admit the fact that you were trying to insinuate that this woman was like stealing from charities, which after the whole Erica Jane of it all, you shouldn't go down that path with somebody.
Yeah, right.
Like stealing money from like widows and orphans and who have you.
Well, that's probably what she saw. I was like, oh, Beverly Hills, they made Erica out to be so bad, and I'll do that, but it'll be just as big. It's like, no, we're talking about a $2,500 charity,
Yeah. I think when it comes down to it, and we said this before, her energy towards Danielle doesn't match anything that she's gotten from Danielle. It's just picking a fight to pick a fight, and this person has a short fuse.
Mm-hmm.
You can rile them up and get what you want, and then you look like the victim because you got slapped or you got something thrown at you, and you're not the victim because you were trying to create a situation to make this chick lose it.
Right.
You succeeded.
Right. And how do we feel? Again, I thought so Danielle had already appeared on Watch What Happens Live before this was filmed, right?
I think this was after. No, so I think she appeared on Watch What Happens Live after this was filmed.
Oh, okay. Because I was thinking maybe Andy's reaction to her having no remorse might have changed what she said in this.
I mean, look, I like Andy and all, but that was just such crap. It's like your network is partially built on violence. Like, let's just stop it. And women fighting with each other. And you like it when they get to like extremes, not to a certain like ratchet point,
right?
But like Jersey, and especially, there's so much violence.
Well, I mean, I think you're overstating it to call it violence. I mean, but I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong at all.
Like fights that get physical, not like that, like drag down,
right?
Drag out, beat down, like someone's like going to the hospital. But like stuff is like this has happened.
Yeah.
So, but yes, this is actually what Fessler is trying to like push her towards. Like she really is trying to help her. Saying like, but you regret it, right? And Danielle said, yeah, I shouldn't have done that as a wife and a mother too. I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, that's all you have to say. Like, I shouldn't have gotten to that point.
You regret it if you want to be back next season, right? You totally regret it.
Yeah. Seriously. It's a similar like tact that like it's a more point of view that Portia had after the Kenya fight. Like she got me to that point, but it's like, but you gotta just say you regret physically touching this person, and like you just gotta.
I mean, or at least find a better way to be to say like, I don't want to be around people like that, and when saying, oh, I'd kill her, don't say that. It would just be like, I don't want to have her around me. Like if for all I'm, metaphorically, she's dead to me.
Yeah, like I regret having her in my house. I regret like having her around my kids.
That's some heavy stuff though. To be like when she says I regret that. Was that her who said it, or was it Fuda who said that?
That was her who said that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I mean that's some heavy stuff where you're like, I thought, because I mean I have friends that like I'm no longer friends with, and I kind of would feel the same way. I was like, glad I never really brought certain people into this house or things like that. So yeah, I mean, that's some strong words for sure.
Yeah.
You got to get to a really bad point and realize that someone's really played you, or or just thinks you're a fool to get to that point where like I regret having them in this house.
Yes. And then to go like to the other room, and they're saying like, oh, just saying like, oh, I don't like that. No, it shouldn't have happened. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
you built your life like from a table flip. I know a lot of stuff has happened since then, but like you started with a table flip.
Right,
That's what you're
right.
most known for. That's what you still reenact on that stupid villains commercial.
Oh. I love watching that villains commercial. I was like, well, it's obvious that neither of them are in the same room. Joel McHale clearly recorded
Right.
his pieces to be interchangeable with anyone who they do this with.
Right.
And then hers, like, yeah, just
Yeah.
great acting.
Yes.
Great acting.
Great act.
So anyway, back to Margaret and Dolores' sit down.
Oh yeah.
That's what the first thing they were reacting to.
They were also like, wow, I never saw Dolores so angry. And it's so funny to this day that Dolores is like, that didn't happen. She's lying. And then, for Margaret to say, I wasn't lying. And then when they actually meet, they're like, oh, we remember it differently. Yes, you obviously do. And one of you is telling the truth. And I'm saying it's...
Yeah, I mean, again, I know people say things all the time and like just kind of throw them out there and it's like, oh, hey, we're having the thing. Da-da. And I know you're not going to come. And then it's that sort of thing where if you're not really invited, and it was never a question you had to answer one way or the other, you're going to process that right out of your brain. Like that's how I see it happening, and so, yeah, I believe Margaret on that side too. I don't necessarily believe Dolores is purposely misremembering. I think maybe she just doesn't remember it.
I think so.
Honestly.
Sort of strong in her belief that, like, of course I wouldn't have done that. Well, yes, of course you wouldn't have done that. You didn't go. Melissa was even saying, like, I don't understand what the big deal is. Why is she so upset? Like,
Yeah.
You weren't trying to make her look bad. You were just saying a fact that I invited you to this thing. You didn't go. We're done.
Yeah.
And so for Dolores to freak out like that reaction didn't warrant what was happening.
Yeah.
It was really weird. She'd made it more of a thing.
And that's kind of why I agree with the whole Margaret thing, because it does reek of she told Teresa and Jennifer that she was never invited to that, never knew what was going on, and she needs to maintain that belief. So,
Frank was there though.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
because of the whole Frankie of it all, which I'm glad that like they brought that up, and showed that flashback because something clearly went down there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
So yeah, that was a big. So it was like that scene, and then the Louis scene.
Well, yeah, it was when I went to them getting ready in their various places, and that's where Teresa was like, "Oh, look at Bill, he's so cute." It's like, "Oh, please."
Yeah, so cute, adorable.
Yeah. But then, yeah, Louis says that horrible thing,
and everyone has like the reaction you should have in the other room,
right?
Of like, how would you say that about someone's kid? Like, you should cross yourself. This is horrible. Cut to Teresa's room. Well, but my family suffered too. My daughter suffered. My stepson suffered.
Yeah. I mean, I feel that conversation in Teresa's room there with the other women, that it went back and forth a lot more than we saw.
Yes.
Because she does go from like, well, my kids suffered too, to just basically, let's not talk about it anymore. Like, it just...
That definitely went more rounds.
Yeah.
And like the people at the ends, Jackie and Dolores, were like, no, this is bad.
Yeah.
And Teresa's like, no, I suffer too. And Jen's like just parroting whatever Teresa says.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, people make mistakes. It's like, it's not a mistake. That's how he truly feels.
Right.
That he wanted her son to suffer.
And what about the fact that, I mean, production didn't need to leave that in?
Nope.
I mean, they clearly made a choice when they left that in. And I don't, whether for good ratings or a good way to like sew up but it just seemed like they could have taken that out and there'd still be enough drama to go on.
Yeah.
But is that production wanting to show Louis' true colors, you think?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
I think so.
So, but yeah,
And then we get to Rails,
which we realize now is by a railroad, yeah, right by the train. Even though they showed in the original finale that there were trains going by,
I mean, they walked over to
didn't click at all either.
Now we got to go.
Well, that's because we're West Coast. We're not used to trains being everywhere.
Right.
Yeah,
Especially we wouldn't have a restaurant by it, but like that's very Jersey.
Well, I guess we have train tracks that run through this town, but there's never a train. I guess there's
town.
In this town we don't have train tracks. So anyway, but yeah, so then it starts the whole rails of it all, and I think the first real thing that comes up is the fight, which we've kind of already talked about.
Yeah.
But then when Teresa still didn't get it when she went out to talk to Danielle.
Oh my God.
Rushing out.
That's when I remember, like pausing that and just turning to you like, is she for real?
Yeah.
Like, well, so, because it's like Jen Aydin saying like, oh yeah, it's not about you. It's not about Teresa because it's about you. It's always about you, Danielle. Yes, it's about Danielle in this moment because you said this horrible thing about her husband. She freaked out. This is her moment, Jen Aydin.
Yeah.
Like, just, and then when she's like making fun of her for like crying, like, it's just, she's a mean-spirited person.
Yeah.
Like, she is just really dark.
She has 18 empty bathrooms. And assuming there wasn't editing done at the fight that edited out what Danielle said first, I don't think it's equivalent to say you come home to an empty house.
Yeah.
She did not mention Bill at all, did not attack his looks, did not attack anything about Bill.
Mm-hmm.
She attacked the relationship Jennifer has.
Right. She didn't say Bill is a piece of garbage.
Right. Right.
So to go for Jen to go straight to Nate, that's just going low to try to get a reaction.
Right. And also because she probably doesn't have anything better to go at.
And also there's no character trait of Nate that she could really go after. She's has to say like, and I'm sure Danielle might have told this to her that, he feels insecure about his body.
Right.
Whatever. But just to go there against about a guy who's never done anything to you just shows you are a low person.
Yeah. Can you imagine, like, I'm just trying to now think if, one of us were on like a reality show, just think about all the innocuous things that you just tell in your day-to-day life.
Yes.
Like, oh, what happened last night? Oh, Jeff was snoring or Scott was snoring, something off like that. And then someone's going to take that and turn it into, your snoring husband, or something just really dumb. And you're like, oh, I didn't.
Good luck with that CPAP.
Yeah. There's so many things that like I just say that just farts right out of my mouth and I don't remember saying. But I have so many friends who are like, you remember you said that one time? I was like, that sounds like something I'd say.
Usually that's me who's saying you weren't said that one.
Yeah, well, So I kind of want you to pick up the cat.
I kind of think she wouldn't let me.
I think you could do it.
There's a cat down here.
No, you're doing a good job petting her. I can't even see. Like, I just see her hand disappear to the side, but you guys should see her, but we can't move the cameras.
Pretty adorable.
Yeah, but anyway, so much better than Jennifer Aydin, let me tell you.
I mean,
I'd rather talk about our cat Gabrielle all day, and she just rolled over and did the cute little pay attention to me thing.
No. Anyways.
Yeah.
Enough about the cat.
Well, she keeps trying to make an appearance on the show.
She does. She really wants.
She really
the Lucy of this.
So after the fight settled down, I mean that's the other thing too is that I don't think that any of and now we're going to call them the upstairs women versus the downstairs women. I don't think any of the upstairs women are hoping or wanting any of the downstairs, or at least outwardly, to be miserable.
No.
Like, no one would see Teresa crying and think, good, she deserves. I mean, they might think, good, she deserves it, but I don't think they truly would feel that.
Yeah.
Whereas Jennifer sees that Danielle's crying and is like, good, like you deserve it.
Exactly. That's a mean-spirited person.
Whereas, I think the upstairs women, even Melissa, gets down to it's like, it's unfortunate what happened, and I'm sure has some choice things she does say about Teresa in real life, but she's not going there. Like, she's just like, it's unfortunate it didn't work out, but like
if or when this stuff with Louis blows up in Teresa's face, I do not think Melissa's gonna be like dancing on their downfall, because
I mean, I think she and Joe will open up a bottle of champagne and probably be like, chin chin, but
I think, but it's more so about the Louis of it all. Like, he's a horrible person,
Oh yeah,
blah, blah. But at least like with Teresa, it's like that's family. We do love her, even though she's done nothing but trying to hurt us
right
for most of our lives. But, you're not going to you don't want her to be hurt. Like, they were very happy when Louis came in her life and she was in love, and after what she went through with Joe Giudice. So I don't think they've wished ill will upon her. They've not said, I want her to suffer.
That's for sure.
They're just like, I want her to stop hurting us.
Yeah.
That's why they had to draw the line and stop interacting. So it's just like a different way of thinking about things. Like, I don't like you, but I don't want ill will for you. I just want you out of my life.
Right.
As opposed to I want you out of my life and I want you destitute.
Yeah, and I think that's the whole difference with we're having you investigated and da-da-da-da. It's like, why don't you just, if you don't want to be around them, don't be around them.
Yeah.
You don't need to nail them to the wall.
Right.
But again, that's a lot of people are like that. We're like, if you're out there living a good life, I can't be living a good life too. I need to know that you're miserable so that I can be happy.
It's like, just forget about those people. Like, just like, don't focus on your good life. If your life is so good, Jennifer Aydin, like, just focus on that instead of like, oh, she wants what I want. She wants what I have. Nobody wants what you have.
Well, I'm sure someone.
Yeah, I mean, some people that might be aspirational, but not me.
And that's the thing too, is that, I'm sure, I don't know. I'm sure in real life she's gotta be nicer than that.
I think she does care. I think our go-to, she's a great mom. She loves her family, her parents, her brother, her storyline potentials.
You never really get the idea that she has other friends outside of that circle. Do you know what I mean? Like, you hear about all the other women having friends. Maybe not Melissa. You don't really hear about.
No, you do see her. Well, her family.
Yeah, her family again. Yeah, but the same thing with Melissa. Jennifer. Family and everything. So anyway, I'm just it makes me wonder if she just is kind of so absorbed with family that the only thing that she has outside of family is the show.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. A lot of people, like, the show is a huge part of their life, and their life revolves around the show as of otherwise.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't really gather that. I mean, Danielle could probably has a lot of her life revolving around the show, but I'd say the rest. But you tell she has other stuff going on.
No, I think they all have those. Yeah, I think if they were I think they would all be disappointed if they were not asked back.
For sure.
But I think some of them would be. It would be a spiral.
Oh, yeah.
And I think others would be like, you know what, that happened. Like, towards at the end, to skip to that a little bit, Melissa's saying, I'm happy, I'm relieved, I don't have to deal with this crap anymore, and you can tell she's like, I love the show and likes being on it, but like, if this is the end, then that's the end.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she would be ultimately okay with it. It would suck for people who are fans of hers, but, at some point you have to be, if you like this person so much and you're a fan of them, you want them to be happy and to go on and like just live their life.
Right.
And not have to deal with like the crap of the show, because I'm sure it's very, very stressful, and both doing the show and then having attention from outsiders about the show.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the next thing that happened then was the Margaret and Teresa kind of.
Oh, and the Jackie of it all.
Yeah, and the Jackie of it all. That was the next thing that happened.
That was so funny.
But
like, okay, I did it.
It was kind of fun to watch it all happen in, all of them seeing and the play-by-play of like, oh.
It was like their football.
Yeah, it really was.
Here she goes. Oh, she's going to admit, she admitted it.
The only bad part was when they re-showed the clips, they didn't show Jackie doing the shuffle backwards.
Oh, such a missed opportunity. Really so funny.
Really, really was.
They obviously didn't know that she was coming. They're all like, chatting outside afterwards, but to see like her be like, oh no, oh no. With her like, doo-doo diaper.
Right. Yeah, I'm sad the season's over, and that most likely that this kind of combination of New Jersey is over. I mean, wouldn't that be the real surprise if they all come back next season?
Oh my God. Bravo's like, psych,
yeah,
can't bring them all back.
Bring them all back. We, scared them shitless about it, and now they're back.
Now they're going to play ball.
Yeah, they're going to be in the same room.
So Dolores' soft.
See, that's what... Oh, yeah.
That's coming up this week.
But that's my thing with Jackie saying, like, is there a road back for you to Margaret? It made it seem like she was trying to be all like, look, I was trying to make something happen.
Yeah.
And then
I'm trying to make peace. I'm like Dolan.
Yeah, that's the hook for next season, but yeah, again, Dolores kind of pissed me off a little bit more in this final thing too, because I don't know, like, it's weird. I'm trying to explain it seemed like she was being so much more blatantly like pro Teresa than she normally does.
Aside from the Louis stuff,
right?
Everything else, she was being very pro Teresa.
And I think normally they don't show her saying things that pointedly. And I can't remember exactly what it was that she said. I should have taken a damn note.
It was the Danielle thing when, Jennifer's like, oh, you were like all being nice to her in the bathroom. And she's like, yeah, I shouldn't.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, what do you mean you shouldn't have? Like, Danielle was upset. Like, you were comforting her, like, I don't understand Dolores' motivations and her loyalties and seeing the world that she sees it, how she sees it.
Right.
I don't get it.
Maybe she just doesn't like women who cry.
Well, that's one of her issues with Jackie.
Yeah, I was
She's
crying all the time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I mean,
it'd be weird, really a weird thing for it to be that cut and dry that like, oh God, a woman crying.
but it's,
Yeah, right.
I don't understand Dolores.
Yeah.
I like her quite a bit, but I don't understand her.
Yeah. Has she ever written a book? Well, who's the first one to write a book if the whole thing gets rejiggered?
Oh.
Teresa?
She's written a book before about, or cookbook. Cookbooks, plural. I could see her writing a book.
Teresa?
Yeah.
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 But I mean, I don't know. I guess I would trust it more from Dolores.
I don't know if I would trust Dolores would be too Switzerland. The best book would be Margaret. And then she could lord over Jackie if it sold better. She'd send her a copy.
Pretty accurate, pretty spot on.
Here you go. Here's a copy.
So, well, it's sad that it's all done, but
yeah, I think overall it was a good season. I mean, there's some episodes that were kind of like weak sauce, but I think there were a lot that were, a lot was going on and the different dynamics and whatnot. And
I think for all the things that we heard about it being just unbearable to watch because, they're just like two different shows. I do not feel like it was two different shows at all.
Yeah.
I feel like it was well done season. And,
it wasn't like what we had this tonight with this special where like they're just like segregated and they only talk amongst themselves about the other group.
Yeah.
They would interact with the other group.
Right.
So just certain people weren't talking. So
which is fine. I mean, I guess I think that's one of our problems is that we don't really get, or maybe my problem, I won't speak on your behalf, but like I don't really get what the hype. I don't care that Melissa and Teresa are feuding or don't get along. Like the show to me has never been about Teresa, and it's never been about like Teresa versus Melissa to me, or even really Teresa versus Margaret or anyone versus anyone. It's always just been about like, I mean, just whatever drama gets cooked up during that season. It could be between Teresa and Jen and Fessler for all I care. Like it's not interchangeable per se, but like I don't watch it to see what happens between two people. I want to watch it to see what's going on this week and like, how they get in and out of it and how they move past it if they do, all that stuff. So
Bravo has made that feud a centerpiece of the show for so long, but yes, I agree. I don't care about that feud's old to me, whatever. I'm more interested in like other relationships, other like animosities, whatever, people coming together, people like breaking apart, personal stories, I think there's a path. I don't think you throw out the entire cast.
Right.
I think some should come back and some should not. I think, this iteration of Jersey, yes, we won't see again, but I don't think it just all needs to go away. I said think like 12 times there.
Think.
Or tink. I don't tink. If you're Polly.
I mean, I could enjoy also. The problem I have with this is that if they did two separate jerseys, if they could do it with Law and Order Criminal Intent, they can do that. They can do two separate jerseys. No, but the problem is they would have to go. The problem is it would become a competition as to who got better ratings. And the problem then is that like what outside factors prevented from week to week different ratings.
Right.
And then like, because then it would just be like, do them both on the same night, back to back. That could be cool. But then it'd feel like a 2-hour jersey and that might be too much.
Unless they're half hours.
Oh, no one wants that.
Yeah.
So
Lance is Crappy Lake.
Yeah. Oh, poor Crappy Lake. I wanted it to be better.
It started off and then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's like it can only be so contrived before you're like, oh, this.
Exactly.
But I can see the show coming back with. I mean, I really don't want it to come back with just Teresa and Jennifer Aydin in a whole new cast, but I definitely think that it could be enjoyable to watch. I think there'd still be great things to see in that combination. What I don't want in that situation is then that all the fans saying, see, you're right, Teresa's queen,
Oh, they'll say that anyways.
I know.
I refuse to watch and then they will watch.
Right.
And I think for sure Jen Aydin's not coming back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to swear on any children's lives about that, but I think I think
The
that
cat just jumped over the ledge.
I'm gonna try not to.
No, how can we not? I mean, she'll be back. She's
She'll be
fine.
back. She's okay. She's fine.
Yeah, she's fine.
We're in a loft. She dropped off.
Yeah.
It's fine. She's fine. I think, again, not swearing on anyone's lives, but I do not think Jennifer Aydin will be back for sure.
No, I agree with that.
That's for sure.
Hold on, before you go too far, that's what was missing as well. There's all this talk about who leaked stuff to who. No one.
Yes.
No one, even in the upstairs room, said, yeah, Jen Aydin's the one who was doing all the leaking.
Not like blatantly. Fessler did say, like, I've seen it in black and white, you know.
Oh,
Part of
true.
why she pulled away from Teresa and Jen, because they were talking to bloggers and they were trying to manipulate things behind the scenes. But no one else was like blatantly saying it.
Yeah.
Trust and believe if that had been like the other way around. Well, like Teresa was saying like, oh, she talks to bloggers, or like Jen Aydin with a straight freaking face to say, anyone's talking to bloggers.
Yeah.
Given what we have seen in black and white, like what glass tacky house do you live in?
Right.
Like, oh, she's infuriating.
The cat jumped back. We're good.
That's okay.
Okay, cat's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah. I think also Jen Fessler handled it very well. Two things. Just explaining that she, kind of removed herself. She hasn't seen them since then. But then also to say, like, they asked, well, how are you going to deal with Jackie? Like, you're close with her, i.e. you have a podcast with her. You have a business dealing with her.
Yeah.
Like, and she's like, well, it's going to be, it's a tough thing to navigate, but, I love her and, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. That's one of her best friends.
That was good.
Yeah.
But what I liked about her even just saying is like, whether it's true or wholly true or not, I do like that she just said like, no, like they're just, after seeing what happened, that's not something that I can really stick with.
Yeah.
And like, if I just can't be part of that, which
But cut to Teresa saying like, I like Jen Fessler like while I was watching the show, but like, Margaret must have gotten in her ear. No, I know Margaret got in her ear because she like, had a different opinion.
wow.
No, stuff just started coming out after the season started airing.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of negative stuff about you. And any sensible person was like, I'm going to distant myself, as Teresa would say.
Can you imagine just villainizing someone in your life so much that you just blame them for everything that happens to you?
No,
And I think that's also the difference. Like, Margaret isn't blaming Teresa for anything. Margaret isn't blaming Louis for like anything going wrong in her life. Just same thing.
she's blaming him for things that he has done.
Yes.
Not like you triggered this. It's like you contacted my son.
Right.
A to B.
And you hired an investigator to investigate us and get dirt on us.
Yes.
Like, yeah, it's
Whereas like Teresa's like A to D to E to F to Z, and it all is about Margaret.
right. Like, Margaret's the evil mastermind of everything. And I'm sure,
Puppet master.
also, I'm surprised no one said the word arsenal once this season.
Oh, that was the last season.
But still, I mean, the fact that she started sending screenshots and things, I was expecting arsenal.
Screenshot.
Yeah.
Is it?
Well, she saw how well it worked for Heather Gay. So,
I think she did her one better. I mean, that like handoff to Dolo with the slob thing, like that moment, and like the here's some flowers for your dignity,
right.
and then like the end, like just Jackie met with Louis' ex. 3 amazing, like iconic moments. People were talking, whether or not you like Margaret or not, people were talking about those moments.
Agreed.
So that shows me she's a great housewife and she should be back.
Am I just dense, or was Margaret joking when she said, "I'm going to send you a screenshot"? And she's like,
Yeah, I think she was real. Keep your phone on, Dolores.
yeah, but yeah, it's off. So I was hoping there was going to be another screenshot that would be
That'd
sent.
be a kicker.
It would have been like a video of Jackie and the ex like talking with a calendar behind her and a clock.
A newspaper. Great Day's newspaper.
Uploading the Warrior video.
How do I do this? Play.
Also to be an attorney and to be like, I don't know how to publish things to the internet. Like, oh, please.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I mean, I guess there are a lot of attorneys that don't know how to convert things into a PDF. So, I mean, but
still, one of her kids could have figured it out for her.
True. Very true. Yeah. So anyway, you were saying, I mean, we've talked so much about who is and isn't coming back, and it's just all.
Don't know.
We thought Anna Marie was coming back to Beverly Hills. We thought she'd get another try, and look how wrong we were with that. So.
But that she didn't deserve to.
I wanted her back, but anyway.
Yeah.
As much as I wish that everyone could come back and get past all this, I think just the drama has been played and we don't need it anymore. And like, I could see,
I feel it's either like one of them, either Melissa or Teresa, don't come back, or they both are fired, and like then
I don't like using the word fired. Let's not use that.
Yeah.
They're just asked not to return.
That's not right.
I can see with the way things have played out, I think that she really didn't have a storyline this year other than her daughter going off to school.
Family,
Yeah.
wedding.
So, I mean, I think that like the same way that, with Potomac, Robin really didn't have much storyline left.
But Melissa is 10 times.
I know, but like I think as far as like a storytelling situation goes, I think it's a good place to put, punctuation.
Yeah.
And
I think she would be okay with it. I would not be okay with it because I hate when like people win because they would consider it a win.
Yeah.
The Teresa stumps would be like, we won. Finally, she's off our show. Our queen is whatever. But I understand if she just is like, I'm done with it. I'm cool with where I am with my family. I'm going to move on.
Yeah.
I'd be okay for her.
Yeah. Agreed.
She'd be okay.
And also the statement she released recently seems like it, or her post, seems like she's kind of
I think she's like,
preparing for that.
She's prepared for them to the network to choose Teresa over her.
Right.
And she is, made peace with where she is and what she's gotten from the show. And she's used the platform well. Mm-hmm. And I think she'll be fine.
I mean, we'll be going to Envy next time we go there, and we don't even wear women's clothing.
We need to get like that huge candle.
Yeah, we need the $100 candle, lion's head candle holder.
So, yes. And then I think Margaret, for reasons I said before, should totally come back.
Yeah.
Dolores, because she's Switzerland and becomes in peace. I think, it's very likely she'll come back.
Yeah.
For the newbies, I really like Rachel and Danielle a lot. I know a lot of people don't, but I
don't see Fuda coming back. I think also she was kind of over it this season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I don't think so. She came in. I would have liked her not to say, "I wish I could come after Louis more." Like, oh, honey, no, that's not the path you want to go on.
Yeah,
I don't think she's over it. I think she was full on engaged and like coming at
Yeah,
it was. There was so much of her in the beginning of the season, and then.
Oh, that's true too. That's true.
Yeah, she and Danielle kind of flip places for like how strong they were coming in.
Yeah.
But I think they're both great additions, and I think they're both genuine people who are showing their lives in an honest way and having honest reactions and not being strategic or trying to have like a soundbite or a moment or a rehearsed read. They're just like, this is my life,
Right.
Also, it'd be cute to see, she's pregnant. I love that moment at the end. That was so, so cute. They're all so happy for her. And
especially Danielle, you had to rewind it because she had like a genuine like giddy reaction.
Yeah, like that's a good friend. Like that was real. So I think I would like to see her family progress. Same with Danielle. I like her family. I want to see where Bougie Kids goes. If she and her father.
I mean, we did hear about it 2 seasons in a row. So, I mean,
she's going to have another tagline that does not involve.
Well, maybe that could be her thing, though. I mean, I'm just saying, as far as housewife,
it's not in this town.
As far as housewives enterprises go,
yeah,
we heard about it 2 seasons in a row. It must be a real thing. It's not like a 3-wick candle that we heard about once,
or a wedding dress.
Yeah, or a toaster oven,
or a Buca de Beppo pre-room.
Yeah, exactly. So, no. So I think if she's back, we'll hear more about it.
I think there's so much potential for the two of them for a future story.
I just don't see how you come back and there's going to be an elephant in the room no matter what. And I think it's going to be difficult to film around that. Like an absence of Teresa will be difficult to film around. And again, I don't think the absence of Melissa is going to be difficult, but I think an absence of Margaret would be.
Yes, because she's contributed so much.
But I guess also what I'm saying is if it was Margaret and Dolores and you're building the show around them, that just does, I don't know, it just doesn't seem to have meat on it. Like, I think you need something else going on there. But that's, I guess, what casting is for. They'll find
they got to find
someone who's
like
good.
Great women in Jersey.
I love now for the first time people can see the blank look you have on your face. You're like, what the hell are you talking about?
What do you mean blank look on my face?
You're kind of like, what? And you're like, huh?
No.
I love it.
No. What about the Friends of? Do they come back? Definitely not Jackie.
I mean, so what I was kind of thinking was they could come back as like a surrogate for like, well, Teresa's not here and Jennifer's not here. She's going to go ahead and be like the opposing. That's the thing, is there has to be an opposing voice for it to really go well. Like if everyone gets along, I mean, I guess the New York reboot, they all got along for the most part. There was some, hiccups here and there.
Right.
But if it's all kumbaya next year, like Dolores would have it, it's just not going to be entertaining.
Yeah.
There needs to be some conflict. And I think, do you cast that conflict? But I think if you bring Jackie back, there would be Margaret-Jackie conflict right out of the gate.
That's true. But like, then who is her friend, though?
Fessler.
Oh, yeah. Fessler's back. Yeah.
And then then she becomes the new Dolores, trying to like bridge the gap there. And then I think that allows Dolores to actually shine and like just have her own fun and not have to worry about saying the wrong thing to the wrong people.
It's like I remember us saying one episode we'd like to see Jen Aydin without Teresa. I'd like to see Dolores without Teresa.
Yeah.
What is that like?
I think that'd be great.
Yes.
So yeah, I guess if I'm going to call it, it's weird. I never thought I'd get there, but I think Jackie should come back.
I don't think she should. I also don't know if Fessler's built for this.
Yeah, and also Fessler seemed to be way over it. Just, I mean, the whole
I think her idea of housewives, like, this is not Beverly Hills. This is not, like, this is cutthroat. And maybe like she would do well with a less. So if you take away those people, it'd be less cutthroat. So maybe she would shine better and be like, I just want to be the funny friend,
right?
Who like, kind of like diffuses the drama.
She's here for the women's empowerment housewives, not the women's, not the we hate you housewives,
led by Vicky Gumbelson.
Exactly.
God-fearing women, supporting women.
But I mean, I hate that we're gonna have to wait forever to find out what happens.
I hope they don't leave us hanging for long and they announce, not like, of course, there are gonna be like a lot of newbies, I'm sure. Not a lot, but like some. But I think we need to know who's coming and who's going from this current cast.
Well, I think we're going to hear soon about who's going, at least, because I think now that this has aired, I think they'll be sending out a lot of the things, and we'll know who's
pick up letters.
Yeah, exactly. I guess there's no rush to hurry it up, but because they'll keep people like us talking
until next year.
Yeah, but they need to start filming and get something going, and because it's such a great franchise, I'd hate to see it.
I think there's so much to draw from with New Jersey, and I think they just need to focus on other families and other drama.
I wonder if they're asking the new cast of New York, do you have any friends who live in Jersey?
Right.
Like, what do you think?
But yeah, like, they started the season with the very first scene being the Fuda family. I thought that was that seemed like a kind of like a passing of the baton of, a young family growing in different generations and, seeing where that goes. And like, I want to see more of that.
It's a nice thought.
Yeah.
But we'll see if Jersey can do that.
Right.
So I never watched back in those days when it was like heavily family.
Yeah.
So
that's what it was built off of, because everyone was freaking related.
Oh God. So I usually ask, what about next week? But there's no next week.
There's no next week.
What are we going to do with our Sundays?
Not watch Legacy.
Well, we already watched it.
I know, that's what I'm saying. We're not going to watch that. So I think we just watched John Oliver.
All right. Well, I guess
that's a pivot.
We can take a little bit of a break from Sunday Night Housewives. But that means all our Housewives shows are going to be the 10 o'clock ones.
9 o'clock. But it might as well be 10 o'clock.
Might as well be 10 o'clock.
At least we would,
Sorry, we do the podcast at 10 when we're done with the show.
I got to bump them up. Like, if you want good ratings, bump Dubai and OC up to 8 o'clock. Period. Dot.
I still want to know what their prime demographics are for those two shows. Dubai might have a younger demographic. It might stay up later.
Maybe.
It's a work night, don't you know?
Maybe everyone's just watching it on Peacock.
Oh.
Where you can hear the swearing, too.
Oh, we should watch the swearing on this one.
Totally.
Anyway, should we...
Yeah, I think we should do the thing.
We should do the thing? Yeah. Next time?
Until next time.
All right. Yeah.